Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
That's what we could land on.
Welcome into So Happy You're Here, my friends. We like to kick off in song because we just think it disrupts whatever funk you might be in for the day.
Here we go.
Gets you set on the right path.
Snap out of it.
And lets you know nothing can get worse than this voice. So you've already hit your low point of the day just by listening to this voice sing.
And it's officially December, so we can now. Those of you that busted out the Christmas songs last month, absolutely not. No,
I did in private and in secret. But with old Scrooge McDuck here and my husband and my oldest son, I had to do it in secret.
See, now you can be loud and proud.
Yes, now I can be out, be loud, proud of who I am.
Come on out.
Happy holiday season, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this time of year. I think this time of year is so magical.
Oh, I love it.
But as we always talked about too when we were on air with you, it can also be very stressful.
Yeah.
It can feel lonely sometimes for certain people. Mm-hmm. So we just want to make sure you know that we're here for you. We love you.
Let's huddle up.
However you celebrate or don't celebrate this holiday season, I hope you can find a little reprieve during So Happy You're Here podcast.
Yeah.
That's Becky. I'm Erin, by the way. If
Hi,
we're
how are
just
ya?
meeting for the first time, we've got a very special guest this week.
We've been waiting for her for a year. It is Miss Wendi Russo. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. She is the most beautiful woman that you have ever seen in real life.
Next to me.
That's right. Exactly right. That's
Never said that part. Just making that up.
But she
goes along with my terrible voice.
She is lovely. We got to catch up a little bit because it's hard. I mean, one of the things that I think when we were bemoaning the fact that our network was no more, we lost some of those people that were kind of part of our fabric. And so we want to catch you up with what's happening in her life.
Wendi Russo was a longtime icon in home shopping. I mean, she was there for many years. She arrived in the heyday. If you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, there was a level of talent that like around the 2010 to 2015.
What did she say? She got there in 03.
07 is when Chloe was born.
No, 07 is when she competed.
Okay.
I think, right?
05. So 05. Anyway, she got there in the O's. In the 2000s.
But I think it was not just her. It was not just the talent. It was the people that were.
Yeah. I mean, it was, she got there in the heyday, the
Absolutely.
last hurrah of like home shopping. And anyway, people loved her style.
Yes.
They loved how funny she was. They loved her personality. She is a truth teller. She was definitely raised the bar when we were out on air.
Yeah.
I remember being a guest with her for the first time. I think I cried afterwards. Don't tell her I said that. Because she was like, she expected this high level.
Yeah.
She was not going to like accept anything lower. And I really think it made people who worked with her better.
But that's when you say,
including myself,
all ships rise. It's not just about success. It's like ability, what's expectation. You know, when it's a lot is expected of you, you listen.
Yes.
Step up.
So Wendi wasn't just an icon in home shopping, but she was also an amazing pageant winner, like later in life.
Yes.
So she really shares a lot about, you know, her philosophy on just going for your dreams and going for what's meant to be. So that interview is coming up in just a few minutes. But as always, we like to catch up with all of you.
So you had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Time with family.
Yes, Thanksgiving was great. How about you?
Lovely, really lovely. We hosted, which is so nice. I like
how many people?
Just teeny tiny. We just had the grandmas. We have an on year and an off year. So like we have the big celebration one year. This was the quiet one.
When you said on year, I thought that was like a nickname for like an aunt.
On
like
year?
My on year.
I thought about that. What would I be called if I was a grandma? Like I know I'm getting ahead of things, but you know how grandmas.
Can't you just be called grandma?
Well, I thought about that, but there's like omas and opas and there's.
Are you German?
Mimis and there's, you know, like all these cute little names. I don't know. I've just been kind of playing with the idea. What would it be?
I mean, I guess.
Or does the baby name you? Maybe the baby, you know, like when they can't say grandma.
Yeah.
Like they call you Gaga or something.
Okay.
No. I'll be that. I'll be Grandma Gaga.
I'm just going to go with grandma unless the grandkid says something different.
Yeah.
And we're at a different stage in life. So this feels really like you for me to talk about.
Jack's not even married yet. And I've got it all figured out.
Well, you never know when one might show up. You got to be prepped and ready. You got to, if I learned anything in my small town in Wisconsin, you got to have your head on a swivel. That baby can show up at any time. All right. Keep your head on a swivel. Yeah. Thanksgiving.
Yeah. From your civics teacher.
Oh, I can say something out loud now. Wait, I will. Okay, well, this was a detour. First of all, my Thanksgiving was great. We also had an off year, not an on year.
Yeah.
Where it was just my parents and the four of us.
Nice.
And I always miss the bigger family.
Right.
But it is always fun then too to have like a smaller.
Yeah.
But I can fully report now that it was in People magazine.
Oh, I saw her. She got sentenced.
So a friend of mine, and I have to say this loosely, we haven't spoke since high school.
Yeah.
He was a year older than me. He went on to have small businesses and what have you. He and his wife were federally charged.
Yes.
This is not funny by any means. This is terrible. And I don't know him. I haven't spoke to him since the late 90s in our small rural town, but it's really rocking our rural town. He and his wife that he married down in Arizona, they were federally charged and convicted of fraudulently taking $300 million in
COVID funds,
in PPP loans and COVID funding back in 2020.
Yes. And she was a newscaster, a very
Arizona.
well-known.
Mm-hmm.
You've been sitting on. We keep trying to make this a true crime podcast.
You guys, no. So I was just with my cousins a few weekends ago having brunch, and we see each other like once or twice a year. Unfortunately, you know, life gets busy. They're a little older than me, a little younger than me on my dad's side, and we were recounting all the things that have happened in our little town. And these things that have happen everywhere in the world. However, if you did the percentage of the per capita, it's like at 80% crime. Okay. If you just took the per capita.
Like what? How many people live in that town?
When I grew up, it was 2,500.
Yeah.
Now it's bustling. There's 4,000 people there.
Watch out.
But if you look at the people that I grew up with in 2,500, you subtract my relatives, which is quite a few hundred of the 2,500. The per capita per like
of big
crime
crimes too
is pretty shocking. Now, I did want to start sharing them all with you, but my mom and my relatives said, no, we'd like to keep our friends.
That's right.
Criminal or not. And I don't mean to make light of the subject because what this man and his wife did was terrible. And we are not family friends with them. However, we know a lot of the same people.
So
obviously.
This is like on the level of like a Jen Shah crime.
I think so, but more because it was $300 million. So the wife
that's a ton
was
of money.
Just convicted and sentenced to 20 years in prison. People magazine wrote about it. And now her husband, I think the person I grew up with, his conviction comes later.
But she's going to go, I think, to the prison that Elizabeth Holmes, Jen Shah.
Just one drop. Elizabeth Holmes and Jen Shah and Ghislaine Maxwell are all there. And she's going to that same prison. No, I don't know her. And
this is all alleged. No, it's not alleged.
It's not alleged. That's our source. They have been convicted, and she has been sentenced, and now he gets sentenced. So anyway, rocking my small town in Wisconsin. Rocking.
That is really big news, though.
It's wild. It's wild. And I mean, my heart goes out, obvious. Well, the victims are, I guess, all of us taxpayers.
Yes.
The victims are the taxpayers.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see on how they recoup that money and what happens. I'm interested to see like how that goes down.
And that, I mean, we're working on it here. Our whole state needs to get tidied up.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like, listen, has anybody ever found like a $10 bill on the street and you're like, God, should I really pocket it? It's actually somebody else's. Like, I can't imagine being like, you know what I'm going to do today? Take $300 million.
Do you know what I did
once?
What
in the world?
At Toys R Us, found a wallet, had the good sense to know it was a children's wallet. I was an adult. Went up to the front.
Because it had Velcro on it?
Yes.
What gave it away? Okay.
It was a Velcro. It was clearly a child's one. And I said, I have something of someone's. I'm not going to say what it is, because if I say I have a wallet with money, everyone will say
it's mine, and there's no ID in there.
I'll just stand here and wait. And then when you come, and of course, this little girl dropped her wallet. She's crying in the back of the store.
Wait, did you stand and wait?
Yeah. And I gave it to her. And I was like, that's how you do it. You say, I have something that's lost, right? It's not finders keepers. It's finders seekers.
Look at you.
Yeah.
A beacon of hope.
Yeah.
Our number one citizen, Becky Wright. Everybody.
Yeah.
Becky Wright. By the way,
what?
Has everybody noticed that Becky Wright's been active on social media?
I told Aaron I'd do it one time a year.
That gave me a jump scare. And it was a beautiful photo and great stories, but I was like, who is this? I almost went to Becky's house saying, your phone's been hacked.
Someone hacked you.
Somebody got into your phone, girl. Talk about crime. I thought for sure I was going to have to call the police.
We had the best time. And you know what it is? I used someone else's pictures. This is what happens. I get so caught up in the moment, I don't actually document anything. So I'll go through, like I didn't document Thanksgiving at all.
You didn't document our entire career on television.
It's like it didn't happen.
And when I would say, hey, could you come to the studio earlier for a picture? Couldn't be bothered.
What for?
Would you mind grabbing a photo when the show's over? How to get out of there. Like this lady is literally allergic to photos and social media. And all of a sudden her social media is blowing up.
If they're good pictures. Now, we had a good one with Allie the other day, Allie and Jen.
Yes, we
Postable.
did. I didn't look good. I looked like my brother in drag. But other than that, it was good.
Oh, I thought you looked great.
Well,
so do you think you have to ask permission if you're in a group photo like that? Do you need to ask, does everyone feel cute? What's the protocol?
I mean, I've had all situations happen. I typically feel like if I look at it and I think everybody looks good, I feel okay posting it.
Yeah.
But if somebody calls in and says, oh my God, I hated that picture, you take it down, I will take it down.
Yeah.
If I'm like, some people might have, because you know your friends well enough to know their insecurities, you know? Like, I don't like to have a nude lip. I like color on my lip or whatever. Yeah. Then hey, does everybody care if I post it? Mm-hmm. I have cut friends out before being like, fine, if you don't want to be in it, I'll just cut you out of the side.
That's what we used to do before Photoshop. We used to just, in our yearbooks, you would just like cut people out. It's like you didn't picture.
I miss those days.
Or like Sharpie them out.
I miss those days. Speaking of something I miss too, you guys, I don't know how many of you went to tanning beds like back in the day. Did you go to tanning beds?
Like an actual bulb or a spray?
No, tanning beds. Lay down back in the day before spray, let your skin fry.
We would go to multiple places. Like you would have the one at Jackie Ann's. That was the place. We went to Jackie Ann's. Then you'd go to, Palm Beach.
And would you do that because there's legally speaking, you're only supposed to be able to go so many minutes every 24 hours. Right. So same in our small town, there was one tanning bed at the Heritage. Get that play on words. Heritage. It was a hair salon. And there was one tanning bed.
In the whole town?
And 2,500 people.
Well, that's still, I don't know.
Okay. So around this time of year, we would all start signing up to go, and it was like, you wrote your name on the paper calendar, and it would be exactly 24 hours, and you would go back and tan and tan. Okay, so anyway, we all remember the smell of the tanning bed. So bad. I had gone to Miami, as we talked about a month or so ago, with my son, and I was like, I'm going to head over and get a spray tan before I go down to Miami, because I knew we were going to be on the beach, and I just think a little spray tan makes my skin look a little healthier, Guys, I walked in. And I am not kidding. Like 3 or 4 people were full bulb laying down tanning bed tanning. And I have to tell you, that smell hit me and it was heaven.
I'm back.
Burnt skin.
I'm home.
And it smelled like there was a nostalgia.
Yes.
There was a nostalgia to going to the tanning bed. How sick is that?
It is true, though.
And by the way, nobody should be in a tanning bed. You're beautiful just the way you are. You don't need a tan, and it's bad for you. You don't need to be going to the tanning bed.
But however,
I walked in and I was like, it just smelled nostalgic. Is that sick?
Hey, have they had the old beds this whole time and I just didn't know?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
And I didn't realize. So I will get a spray tan, especially because we're based in Minnesota, and we will start now basically through March. And unless you go somewhere, you're really not going to get sun to touch your skin.
It's called seasonal affective disorder.
Like vitamin D,
it's
truly
bad.
not touching your skin, whether you want to, have a tan or not, So when I worked, I would often get a spray tan because I think it would just help, like the tight shots on my décolleté or my hands would just even out or whatever.
Right.
So I've always gotten a spray tan here or there, but I hadn't seen people coming out of tanning beds in a while.
I'll do the red light. I'll do that happy light, to get different wavelengths into your eyeballs.
You go to the red light therapy? Where?
No. I just have like a little board that I hold up.
Okay.
And I don't know what
Is this when you teeter upside down as well?
I should really make good use of my time.
Becky got a teeter totter once.
Do you remember those teeters? Did they sell my QVC?
What do you mean, do you remember those? You just got this like 3 years ago.
But I think they were bigger years ago.
I remember a man with long hair who would do this thing really hardcore.
Oh, that's right. What's his name?
I can't remember. It was like
you guys know who we're talking about. The fitness guy.
The ski, I remember him going like balls to the walls
Jimmy
on that.
or something. Yes.
And then couldn't you go upside down in it as well?
I think it was a separate thing, but it was around that same season.
So why did you get a teeter-totter again?
I thought that it was going to be good for back health. Like if you had a sore back.
But you swore to me you used it.
I use it a lot.
You still do.
Well, it's folded up now because the holidays takes up too much. This is the problem with all this stuff, you guys. The rower takes up space. The teeter takes up space.
So how often did you do the teeter, and what sort of benefits did you feel like you received?
I felt like it was psychosomatic.
What does that mean?
That I made it up. Made up the... the malady and the repair, I felt like it was good for circulation, and it would sort of like straighten out your back. It felt like things kind of fell into place. I think there was some relief.
And then you packed it away?
Well, it's not good enough to keep. This is like everything. You go get a lotion and a potion, and you think it's going to be a miracle. You go get a thing. Come on, who among us on home shopping didn't buy something that you thought was going to be a miracle cure?
Everything I presented was exactly as I said.
Okay, so that's actually a good question. Of the things we presented, what were the things that you actually owned and possessed and believed in? I mean, I believed in everything, but the things that I actually bought, isomers across the board.
Oh, really? All of their stuff? So all of the beauty brands, I had things for sure that I loved that I would use every day.
But you can't buy every single thing. It's just not possible.
No, but we were given everything.
Oh.
Well, when the company was healthy, pre-2019, before you presented anything on air from a beauty perspective, they would give it to you to try. Mm-hmm. And so there were things where I would say, you guys, listen, I understand this serum. I think it's great. I don't need it yet because I'm not over 50. Or I don't need it yet because I'm more of a sagger than a wrinkler. Mm-hmm. So I'll present it, but I wouldn't give personal stories. You know, I can present a product, but I would share personal stories about things I really had a personal, benefit to. Yep. So, I never lied. I will tell you, when things were not looking good at the end of the time there, and the leadership team who brought us into bankruptcy, they got into self-defense items.
Oh, I remember this.
And I remember digging my heels in.
Oh, this
and
was
I'm
the
like,
zapper. This was the...
I said, I won't. I will not. Yeah. And I went head to head with quite a few people. I'm like, it just didn't feel right for me.
Do you guys know what happened with the taser? I got a taser for myself.
From our old network?
No, I think I bought it on Amazon or something. Wendy was there. We were at dinner. And
you brought a taser to see Wendi at dinner? Should we be concerned?
Wendi, I have to see if she remembers this. I took it out. It was just like the size of a pen. It just looked like a pen. And I go, it's so easy. And I pushed the button and zapped myself.
No, you did. Did you pass out?
No.
Like the guy in The Hangover? No. What happened?
I think I was so embarrassed I tried to play it off.
Did you start to cry?
No.
Did you have burn on your skin? I don't know what happens when you get tased.
It's just enough to it's just shocking. Like literally, it's a literal
the smell of a tanning bed.
But I'm thinking this is why I could never have an actual weapon. I'd kill myself.
Some of those tasers went off in people's hands.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
While they were presenting them.
Yeah. I remember getting in big fights, but because I didn't want to end up like Becky or anybody else tasing themselves. I think I did have to present it once or twice, and I was so mad.
Yeah. So that was the only thing you said no to?
I did decline Evine After Dark.
Oh, well, that was...
And not because I was judging anybody, but I have boys. I have teenage boys. At the time, they were preteen. And I just felt like that would be a hard discussion to have with them at that age. And they didn't need their friends being like, we saw your mom, with a personal massage device.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's wise.
And I don't know if this is how preteen boys talk. That's my...
it's that.
So I did, when they announced that they were doing that show and said, let us know if you have any issues as they look to schedule it, I went to my boss and I was like, listen, it's not the right time in my life.
Tapping out,
to be presenting any of that.
Yeah.
And they picked the perfect person, which was Kimberly Wells. She did it with, she was really great. I did have... Besides the personal, and I'm not against personal defense items. I just didn't think that we needed to.
Well, let me just compound it. It was in a really volatile time around the globe. So I think it was more because it was tapping into what was happening. I just didn't think
I thought we had enough other things and products to,
Dress. I don't know. I'm trying to get it together.
We're in our Thanksgiving wears.
Yes, we are.
We didn't even try to match. I wore my Thanksgiving outfit.
You look so cute.
Which, by the way, you guys, is a sweater pair of underpants. And they're controversial, but I love them.
No, they look really cute.
I just pulled what's it called? A run in my nylon. So don't look, but look at a little sweater pair of.
Aren't they cute?
Just for around the house. I liked them. Okay. They're controversial at best. The boys were like, Mom, put some pants on. I'm like, I'm wearing a very expensive pair of sweater underwear to Thanksgiving. So take it.
It's not a merkin. It's a short.
Listen, I said no to Evine After Dark for you. I get to wear my own sweater pants. My sweater pants. Anyway, let's get to our interview with Wendi Russo. You're going to love catching up with her.
Yes.
If you want to follow along with her, she's actually, we put it all in the show notes to follow along with her on Instagram and Facebook. And also she is doing a sample sale on some of her best-selling jewelry. So make sure you look that up in the show notes so that you can follow along. But as always, we're so happy you're here. We absolutely adore you and love you all. Oh, and real quick, if you haven't been watching our Saturday morning lives, we had a really successful one with Sarah.
That was a fun one.
For holiday dressing. And the week prior we did Amazon. So we had the easy access Amazon, and then we had the curated stylist collection with Sarah.
And
so
I'll link those.
Something there for everybody.
We'll just remind people of that.
Those presentations are on YouTube, and they're also on my Facebook page, Erin Newberg, on air host. So if you haven't watched those, I think you'll really like them. Enjoy this interview with Wendi. As always, we're so happy we're here. You know what I'm trying to say. Hi.
Hey, I'm Sarah Skilrud from Sarah Styles Collective. I am so happy to be here with all of you who love So Happy You're Here podcast. Thank you to Erin and Becky for inviting me. We want to talk holiday looks, and we want to give you some permission to have some fun. It's the first week of December, and shipping waits for no one. So ladies, if you're looking to jazz it up just a little bit this year, try it with a feather. Lots of different ways to incorporate feathers into your holiday wardrobe. A cute little top. And I'm gonna bring my model in here. Ta-da! Here she is, Miss Erin. She is showing you, she's in a knit outfit, y'all, okay? So a great sweater, a beautiful skirt. You can do this as an ensemble look because maroon is still hotter than hot. But take a look at how the feathers are just adorning right at the arm cuff and also at the lower hem of the skirt. So that's all you need. A kiss of a feather, a kiss of fun, maybe a kiss under the mistletoe.
Hey, I'll take both of those. You know, I'm so happy you're talking about having fun when you're getting dressed this time of year. It's festive, it should be fun. But historically, I think a lot of people think it's going to be really skin tight or sequins or like a big headdress. The feathers you're showcasing to us really allow everybody to have a little extra fun and have that embellishment without feeling like you've gone over the top.
I agree with you. And I'm wearing them with denim.
Yes.
So you can wear a feathered top with your favorite pair of denim, favorite pair of maybe a wide leg black pant that's already in your wardrobe. This is how we activate your style. What do you love to wear? Grab it, and then just add a little feather.
Wait, and I know these are your 2 minutes to shine, but I do have to give you guys a little plug. I wore feathers on this green dress for a wedding this past fall. It was actually one of my bestest girlfriends, and she used Sarah Styles Collective to style her entire wedding. You guys, it was genius. Sarah put together an online form where guests could go order inspired pieces for the wedding. Then she dressed the bride head to toe for every event. The looks were perfect. They were photographable. It was so easy. So if you are planning something special, or if you need a little extra help for you and your loved ones, you guys, nobody beats what Sarah put together for us.
You're so kind.
It's
true. She was easy to dress. The most beautiful bride.
It's true. So make sure you're following along with Sarah Styles Collectives for all of your fashion needs.
And without further ado, friends, put your hands together for the one and only Queen Wendi Russo. Hi, Wendi.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
The people have spoken.
To see you girls.
Well, it's really good to see you. And the ladies have been waiting over a year to hear from you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, and you girls look like you're happy and healthy. Life is treating you well.
We're definitely happy. I'm not quite sure about healthy, but we're definitely, there's been a lot of wine in the past year.
Celebration season.
There's been a lot of late nights, but we're definitely happy. Where have you been since everything went down? Catch everybody up with where you are right now.
Yes. Well, actually, I started doing a little work with my vendor in Milor and was working with them on a possible network in the UAE. That has still been put off. So in that meantime, I actually am working for Watches of Switzerland. I have been working with Rolex. I've been trained by Rolex and Cartier, along with many, many other brands. And I'm one of the few women that are working in this store. It's a brand new store in the Southdale Mall here in Edina, Minnesota. And it's a luxury wing. So we've got Tiffany across the hall. We've got Gucci that just opened up, Louis Vuitton across the hall. So lots of fun goodies for shopping. And I enjoy actually meeting people in person.
Yeah, right.
When I say Wendi Russo, I expect Rolex and Cartier
That's
and Louis
exactly
Vuitton
right.
to be right next to
Nothing
you.
less for our queen.
Exactly. We've known this is where you're going to end up since 2014. We've known it. Okay, good. So Becky and I are going to have to do a little
Pilgrimage.
pilgrimage. Thank you.
For the holiday season, for all your shopping needs.
I've only been paid to be on a microphone for the past decade. Okay. We're going to have to do a pilgrimage over to see Wendi and do some shopping.
Yes. And if your husband's won a Rolex, I can hook you up on the registry.
Well, we're in bonus season. That's actually really smart in the financial industry.
You're in bonus season?
Yeah, this is actually a really good time.
Really?
Yeah. We'll tag all of Wendy's info at the end.
Well, you have an inside because I will tell you there's a whole rigmarole to the process. You don't just walk in and go buy one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Wait list.
It's called a registry.
Oh.
And so you will be put on the registry, and I will create a bio for you and your husband, or for you. There's women's pieces too. And so that way we'll know what you're looking for specifically and then call you when it comes in.
No way.
I love
Is this Hermes waiting for a Birkin? Oh my
Concierge
gosh.
service.
It gives that vibe. It is throwing that vibe. And then we do have certified pre-owned, which means they've already been owned by someone, refurbished and made to be perfect again. So those you can leave with that day.
Oh my gosh, let's get ourselves over there.
I like a little
But
cash
you're
and
in
carry.
bonus season. We're in like, do we have to sell our house season? We're in like, can we afford Christmas season? So Father Phil might have to foot the bill for both of us.
That's right.
So Wendi, listen, we like to catch up with, of course, all of our favorite home shopping friends. And the question we start every episode with is,
How in the hell did you get into home shopping?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's kind of interesting. I had met my husband in Italy, as you guys may know, and we were actually heading up the steps to Town Hall in Beverly Hills to get married in a very no fringe, no frills ceremony.
wait,
and
can
my
I stop
phone
you for a
rang.
second? You met your
What?
husband in Italy and then you married him in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
She says it like it's no big deal.
You just run by that. That's like already a dream. Okay, continue.
Well, so a year and a half after I met my husband, he proposed, and it was on a second visit to Beverly Hills to come see me. And so, there's only a finite period of time you have to visit someone if you don't have a visa and all those other things. So within that short time, he proposed, and I said yes because my eggs were screaming. Have a baby. Have a baby.
With an Italian.
Yes, have a studly baby. So we were heading up the steps to get married at Town Hall, and my phone rang, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't turn my phone off. That would have been, no bueno. So I answered it, and it was an agent I had never met or heard of in my life. And she asked me if I'd be interested in hosting a home shopping channel, and I said yes. And then she said, they need an audition reel for you. And I had just made a reel for a prototype of a show called Inside LA. And it was where I was featuring what restaurants to go to, what bars to go to, how to get in, and where to shop. So I had already done all that video, and I had already edited it and was shopping it around to like E! Entertainment and other networks. And so when I got the call, I was like, yes, I'm interested. So then I turned my phone off. We went and got married. And
As you do.
all of that. I sent my reel in. They sent it to what was known as Shop NBC at the time. And I did get the audition. So I flew there for the audition and sold a few items, and then got the 3-month trial. So at the time, we didn't just accept people and just have them become a host. There was a trial period of 3 months, which I did. And then after that, I was offered a contract at Shop. And then Corrado moved from Beverly Hills to here in Minnesota. And we bought our first home and had Chloe. I found out I was pregnant with Chloe 2 weeks after I got married. So it was very literally within that short time, boom, I was pregnant. So
listen, when you know, you know.
Those eggs were screaming.
Yeah. Wait, so Corrado he's from Sorrento, right?
Yes.
So he goes from Sorrento to Beverly Hills to the Midwest.
And in what month? This is what I always wonder. Was it winter?
It was June.
Oh, good.
Oh, so So we tricked him.
So we psyched you out.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think that was purposeful. I have a feeling that Shop NBC at the time was not hiring people in the winter because they knew it would be very hard
Nobody would
to
come.
get someone in LA, California to move. So I know that I had come from California. Christy, who is a former host, came from California. Brian was in LA as well.
What about Dave King? Wasn't he from LA?
Yeah, maybe. Yes, maybe Orange County.
Is that who was on the host roster in those days when you first started?
So it would have been Sean Wilsey. Let's see. It would have been Jolene Benoit, Charla Rhines,
Yes,
Aaron Connolly.
God, the icons.
Yes. And I'm just trying to think. I think that Kendi was there at the time, and there was some drama going on at that time regarding the WSS network that was
that's
coming
right.
in. So I know that some of the people were going to go over there. Pamela and Wes
Yeah, that's
were
right.
in the evening slot. So yes, so that was 2004.
But so, Wendi, we've talked about this because Sarah Anderson was on a few weeks ago and we were catching up with her at HSN. And I remember Connie Kunkel talking about this, our dear Connie Kunkel.
Connie was also on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about this. I think I was one of the very last lifestyle guests brought in 2014 where you walked into the host room, meaning me. And I was like, oh my God, everybody you just listed. And then like you and Sarah and Connie and Kimberly like had these huge backgrounds from like New York and LA. And it was just like, it was crazy back then to see all the talent that was in the room. And all of you talk about this 3-month period too, where you'd have this trial and you didn't know for sure if you were getting the job or not. And both Sarah and Connie had told us, they said in their 3-month trial, they just thought they were going to go for 3 months, collect the money, and then go back home.
Yeah.
And then they ended up falling in love with it and staying. Did you ever think you would just stay for those 3 months and go back home? Or did you know like this was going to be your career?
No, I think I was looking at it as a 5-year plan.
Okay.
I thought that I would be there for 5 years and then I would go back to somewhere warmer. And apparently that didn't happen. And I'm still kind of stuck here because my daughter is going to UW-Madison for college. And we basically, if you're from Minnesota, you can get in-state tuition there. So I'm stuck here for another 2 years.
Well, and she's grown up on TV right along. We've watched Chloe grow up from itty bitty baby. So now what year is she in school?
Junior.
She's a junior and she's turning 21 in December.
Oh my gosh.
Do you need 2 crazy drunk aunts to come out with you? Because
she would
we're a
love
good
that.
time,
We'll be the
Wendi.
chaperones. Yeah.
We are a good time. It is
She-
funny.
She would definitely, I think, give you a run for your money.
As she should. I mean, that's the right time to do it. Not our age, but here we still are.
That's
not
so
our
true.
age. So do you feel like Minnesota is going to be home or do you feel like you're ready to rock and roll after she's done?
Well, I've been thinking I'm going to rock and roll for like a long time now, and I'm still somehow playing, karaoke night here. But, I look at it as God has his own plan and has an idea of where I'm going to be or should be at any given time. And so I just give it up to God about where I'm going to go, what job I'm going to have, because part of what happened in getting the job at Shop HQ was me giving up to God and having faith. So at the time I was seeing a counselor she does a lot of group therapy work. And so at the time I was really trying to figure out where was I going to land? What am I going to do? Very confused. And, she said, well, what do you love to do? I'm like, shop. What is that going to do for me?
Shop and talk.
She said, you could be a stylist. You could be a Beverly Hills Hollywood stylist. I'm like, yeah, how do you get in that? And everyone's gay. I can't get in that. So I felt at the time it was like a really a stuck position. And there's many times of my life when I've felt stuck, but that was one that was really just felt like a struggle and a slog through the mud. So when I did get the call and I did release it to God, I felt like not only was it answered, but I also felt as though it just renewed my faith in a stronger way than it ever had, because I felt like I was heard. I was listened to.
Yeah.
So that's just something I think it's hard to remember that, but when you have a moment in your life where you do feel like there's that kind of answer, then it helps you through the harder times later because you remember that time.
That's so true.
That's so good.
And that's so good to say. Amen, by the way. That's so good to say in the year of 2025, because it was the year of the snake, about shedding old layers, about transitioning, about letting go and grieving. And sometimes you have to do that to see where you're really supposed to be.
That's right.
You have to let go. And I think all of us who have been in this industry together for so long, really this year, we were all forced to do that.
Well, and Aaron Kessler said something when he was in a transitional moment. He said, follow the lit path, which I thought was really true. So Shop NBC at that moment was the lit path. I mean, it was really quick. Let me get married and then I'll be out there. Hang on.
I'm going to get married. I'm going to have a baby.
Yes.
And then I'll be there. So what are your favorite memories and some of your favorite moments looking back on your home shopping career?
I remember singing show tunes with Sarah in the host room.
Fun.
And she liked to, I think we were just making up songs. So we were making up songs to show tunes that fit the situation at the moment. And so I grew up with like Al Yankovic, where he would like create
just eat it,
his
baby.
own words to songs.
Yes.
And so and I also love musical theater. So Sarah and I are both on the page of like, everything has a song.
Yes.
So that was like something I just remember getting a kick out of, because I felt like there were struggles and moments in this industry that I think having humor was such a key part of the industry overall. And I think that we all built a nice relationship, especially early on. We would have parties at each other's houses and kind of, who's going to have the party, host the party this time. And so it did feel like a family. So I liked the family feel and atmosphere. I liked that there was, just like a camaraderie amongst each other, which was really very nice. And of course that did dissipate towards, I think the end there was just it felt more disconnected, at least for me personally. Yeah. So I really enjoyed those moments. I think another thing I liked was the fashion show that we had that had like Countess Luann.
Yes.
And we had WDNY. Remember WD? He's passed since.
Yes.
The best.
And then we had Carson Kressley. Carson Kressley was my favorite guest. I just love his sense of humor, and he's just so over the top and quick-witted. So I loved him.
You guys were dynamite together, the two of you.
It was really fun. I was very sad to hear that they had let him go. So that to me was like a big mistake. That was like mistake number 100. But,
And when you remember how they used to do the set design for those designer shows?
Yes, it was like a runway show. It was well thought out. It was fun TV.
Yes.
It was fast paced and moving. I think it was just... That's what TV is supposed to be, in my opinion. It is very fun, and it's about selling, but it should be about fun.
And about the viewer.
Yes.
Her fun time.
This is crazy because when we were talking to Sarah just a few weeks ago, she was also remembering the big fashion days. Yeah. And I can remember you, Wendi, when I was a brand new guest, those big fashion days that you describe, especially the designer ones. So just for everybody who's listening, even if you didn't watch Home Shopping, we'd have full days dedicated to on-air broadcast of designer fashions from Mark Bauer and then celebrities like Carson Kressley and Countess Luann and Warren Donner. We had Vanessa Williams, Holly Robinson Peete. And Wendi was always, I would call it the bookend of the designer days, where she would launch it and then she would kill it. That's what we called the last show of like the 24-hour period. The kill, yes. And it was... People wanted to be in the room. There was energy and excitement and so many people coming and going. And speaking of mistake number 955,000, and what people didn't understand, and I would love to hear your take on this, Wendi, and I learned slowly but surely as I moved from guest into host, the skill set that you as the host had to have to juggle and marionette
those
and dance around the personalities, the models, the outfit changes, the producer in your ear, the director in your ear, the sales coming in. I mean, that is a skill set that very few people in the world really can master the way you did.
That's a small club.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I wish it would translate into something. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's just there.
But what I'm saying is I think sometimes, because we've been very honest about this in the past few years of the network, we think we had leadership who didn't really understand the business and understand the customer. And I don't think they understood that very unique skill set.
They thought anyone could do it.
Yes, that you had. I mean, did you know that in the moment, how unique that was?
No, I think I felt like I just was having fun, and I felt, when you're in your, you know what they call it is the flow. If you ever read the book, the art, I think it was The Art of Creativity. And I was always very creative growing up and definitely not interested in math or science. So I was just more about creativity and ideas and definitely experiences.
Yes.
So I just knew that I felt like I was in my creative flow during a show. And so that made it even more fun because it's about spontaneity and being engaged in the moment. And I feel like that's when I watch some shopping now, I feel like what I see is it's so about shopping and selling rather than a relationship and a conversation and having the customer really listen in and be a part of that. So I really miss the connection. And so when the job became more about say this and then say that and then say this and then say that, I personally felt stifled with my own creativity because that's just not what works for me. And I always felt that, what made one host successful would not make another host successful.
Exactly.
That's right.
They felt there's a formula, and I think still in the industry today, the other networks think there's a formula and everyone should follow this formula. And my opinion is we're all gifted with different gifts and different ways to connect with the viewer and different, just different points of view of how to sell or what to be. And the more we dictate that, the more the authenticity just disappears. And then it became less fun.
That's right.
I mean, that was the start of our demise as well.
Well, and remember what Kimberly used to say is even if you don't like this presentation style, hang out for an hour. There's going to be somebody else coming right up. And the beauty was in the harmony of all of those faces and all of those voices.
When I was a new host and I talked to Mile a minute and people would be like, we can't stand it. I'm like, don't worry, Wendy's up next.
Yeah.
So like just shut it off for 50 minutes and come on back.
Go
She'll
make
be
a
there.
sandwich.
Yeah. Go have a snack. Wendy will be up in a minute. You'll have a blast with her.
And Wendy, one of my favorite parts of working with you is how fun you made it because you are, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but I've always said Wendy is the most beautiful woman you will ever meet in real life. So it's not just on the screen like our viewers are seeing now, but in real life, it can be intimidating. And you had this innate knack for kind of making fun of yourself, being light, being funny, being silly. And so it wasn't intimidating. And I think our viewers fell in love with that.
Yeah.
They were like, how can she be this charming, this funny, and this beautiful?
You're a secret comedian, Wendy.
Yes, you are.
I always wanted to do something with humor because I always thought, well, they say sometimes that comedians are some of the most depressed or sad people. And I think that through some sadness that I've had as a child or growing up, the way that I dealt with it was through humor. And so I felt like that's something that can, kind of take the place of sadness or contemplation in too much of a way. I mean, I think there's a balance. Obviously, we want to accept reality for what it is on some level, but then I also think there's a time and a place to make things lighter and look at the funny side. I can remember the one time that I got in trouble for being a little too fun, and that was with Aaron. So
you're not the first person to say that.
What did
we
you
were doing
do?
a kill on a really interesting looking top and legging set. And one of the patterns was leopard. And I don't know, there was, I guess, something on with Vogue that it just triggered me. Things trigger me and then I just go on it. But Erin was very good at like rolling with it. So if I started a riff, she'd be like, yes, and.
Yes.
So that's one of the rules for Groundlings. If anyone doesn't know about the Groundlings was an improv organization out of LA. That's where a lot of the Saturday Night Live people came from. And I took Groundling classes. I went all the way up to the last level, and my teacher said, "You're just not funny."
What?
And so
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree. I
Heather
disagree.
Dubrow is in Groundlings again right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think the problem is like, number one, it's very rare that I think, and I was younger. I was, I'd say I was 28, 29. And I think that the prettier you are, the less funny people think you are.
Especially
It's a hurdle.
a few years back. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And this was like many years back. So
we don't want to age you.
Pretty women were not allowed to be funny. So I was like, all right, then fine. That moving on to the next thing. The people who made it at that time were either very overweight, or they had a funny looking face, or they were some wild hair and red, or like it was always some kind of look.
Well, think about Phyllis Diller. Do you remember when we were kids?
Yes.
That's who got to be funny.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I felt like doing my shows, I was able to be more myself and be funnier. And then Aaron really picked up the ball that day. So I decided to put on some big glasses, Anna Wintour glasses. And we talked about, I asked Erin, what did she think during her last safari? What were her thoughts in creating this line? And, it was just some kind of a riff back and forth where she was like, I think how I looked at you is you were Posh Spice.
Okay.
You were Victoria Beckham.
That's how she sees herself. That's right.
We were on the front row watching the fashion show of the models. Yes. I was Anna Wintour with the big glasses that I stole from someone. Yes. And I was asking her thoughts on the safari print, and if it was majestic like her last visit to Zimbabwe.
Wendi, I'm not the right person to stop you on that either. Like you didn't know any better.
Going.
Yes.
Yeah. And we kept going.
Did management not appreciate the humor?
So I was called into a meeting.
No.
I
was just a guest. Guests have to follow the host.
Maybe like 2 days later. And I already knew this was either I was going to get accolades, which probably wasn't the case. When do you get that? Accolades? What's that? So I knew I was going to be in for something rough. And in came the buyer for fashion, in came all the different buyers from fashion, in came management, in came one of the guys keeping track of numbers. And then, who was there is Andy, and Andy had the numbers. So they started off the meeting talking about the numbers and how many dollars per minute we did during my show during this compared to the rest of the day. And Andy said, well, actually, it's in line with what the rest of the day was doing.
So what's the problem?
There we go.
And then one of the directors said, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it kept it very fresh and very engaging. And especially it was the final presentation of this item and everyone had already seen it all day.
Thank you, Tom Battenberg.
Yes.
Or whoever it was.
It wasn't Tom. It was another one.
Okay.
Tom Dahl?
No, a different one.
Okay, let's think through our directors. Trevor, Brian.
Could have been Garrett. Could have been Garrett Gilbertson.
Yeah. Back when I was a guest.
Yeah, I'm trying to I can't remember, but he was like, they defended me on some level.
Good man. Good man.
Maybe Neil.
And I was in a chipper mood because I thought it went well. Well, I was then told that I'm not allowed to use the minutes like that we had to be selling, and that's not permitted. And I think I was even taken off some kills from the future based on that. So the message was stop having fun.
And it's so funny because when you talk to the viewer, that's what they loved. And yes, they were shopping at the same time. It was that balance of both.
Yeah.
Having a great time, giggling with your girlfriends.
We were having a blast. I mean, we were having so much fun.
And P.S. girls know when they're being sold to. Mm-hmm. That's not fun.
Mm-hmm. I remember you putting those glasses on, and I remember you speaking in like an English accent. I was like, this is the best. I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. I was like, keep it going. What do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? I also remember.
And we just sat down, and you and I were sitting down on the edge of the runway watching the models go.
It was so fun. I also remember when like tweeting and social media had kind of just picked up.
Yeah.
And was asking why everybody was putting pound signs in front of everything instead of hashtagging.
I was like, what does this mean? What is this?
It's so good.
And now it's 6'7".
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that means. I can't keep up.
We had so much fun together. But I do think there was a time when fun was encouraged.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you were encouraged to have fun. And I think for whatever reason, whether it was fear of sales or fear of getting in trouble, the longer we were there and the later the administrations got, the less fun they wanted.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I agree with you, Wendi. I think, it's not brain cancer. We're not curing a disease. We're just having fun with our friends. So I do think it was a miss to kind of cancel out any of the fun that could be had.
And I feel like what I've learned from this experience and just human behavior is women are very tribal when they shop. They are tribal in that they will support you if they like you. They really kind of look to it to connect with other women.
Yes.
And so I think you saw that in Wake Up in Style. And just overall, our customers were probably, I'm going to say 90% women. Mm-hmm. And so women just shop a little differently. I think that men just need some information and they'll buy.
Yes.
Women are more like, they want to have fun and they want to learn about the product, but I think they want to enjoy watching, and a lot of people just turned on the show because they just wanted the sound and the relationship, listening to the conversation.
Exactly right.
So it isn't always about shopping, and you have to realize people are not always going to be buying that day, right? Sometimes you just want the company, and that's what I think we provided was company and connection and story, and we shared about our lives because people wanted to hear. And I heard sad stories of women who'd been in an accident and were paraplegic, and that the time they finally became not a wallflower was when they wore One World, because people would compliment them on their outfit. They would see them for the first time, whereas normally they'd be ignored and they'd melt into the backdrop. So I just think what we're missing just overall in society and in companies in general is compassion and connection, and recognizing that although we all want to sell, we all want to make money, we want to keep the business thriving, if you're not connecting on an emotional level with people, you are not going to sell. That's my opinion.
Agree. Amen, sister. Yeah. And on that
Absolutely.
note, let's talk about pageants for a second, because that was just perfect. I agree with you 100%. And I think that's why Becky and I started this podcast last November, having no idea where the network was going to go. We were going to leave. They were going to shut down and reopen. We just started this because of what you just said. We loved the connection. We loved visiting with people. We didn't want the pressure of selling anything. We just wanted to keep that. And you're right, because what we've noticed now over this past year is like everybody just wants to hang out.
The girls are still there.
And
they
visit,
want to visit
and have a good time.
Yeah.
So we feel really lucky that we still get to do that. And we feel really lucky that we got to build that, just as you said, in home shopping.
and community.
But now listen, we've got to get into pageantry, because I think people love shopping with you on home shopping, loved listening to you, your style advice, but you had a whole separate life this entire time in pageantry. When did that start?
I was a judge for Miss Minnesota USA, and that would have been in maybe 2001.
Okay.
No, wait. 2000. Oh, sorry. 2007. Okay. Sorry. 2007. So at that time, I just thought, wow, these women are a lot smarter than I thought they would be. They had nonprofits. They had a lot of charity work they were doing. They had big goals. I was just very impressed with them, very articulate and driven, and had direction in their lives. And I thought, my God, when I was this age, I had no idea what I was doing. So, and I certainly wasn't giving back or doing anything for other people. I think I was just involved with, who am I going out with tonight and what am I going to go where?
Yeah.
So I was very impressed. And in the booklet, I saw that there was a Mrs. Minnesota competition. So I just took note in my head, like, oh, that's interesting. And I happened to see it on TV. It used to be televised.
Yes.
And I thought,
big deal.
oh, I'm interested in that. That would help me to lose weight because I had just had Chloe and I thought, well, I could use some incentive to get to do something. And I called and they said, there's no age limit. And I said, okay. And so I just waited a little bit longer till Chloe was a little older. And then I did compete. And I did not win the first year. I did not place. I didn't have a coach. And I just had no idea what I was doing, basically. And so I was like, oh, my God, this is horrible. Maybe I'm just too old for this. And I decided that I would come back one more time. And if I didn't win, fine. Then I'm too old. It's just never happening. It's not in the cards. And I hired a coaches to help me with wardrobe, to help me with walking, to help me with my interview, I really buckled down on the fitness and prevented myself from eating bread and pasta for a couple months.
Married to an Italian. That seems like it should be illegal.
It's not easy, girls. It's not easy. We're talking, there's not a day without bread in this house. So bread is the
Italians do it right. They do it right.
Oh, their whole life. My husband, he's always like, text me, get some yummy bread. That's the daily text.
We'll stop by anytime.
I did the pageant that year in 2008 and I won. And I beat a girl who was 11 years younger than me because I was like, oh God, this is going to be a nightmare. She's a lot younger. She's a coach. She had coached many winners before. And I won every judge's vote and I won every category. And I was just flipping out about it.
Yay!
But what it taught me was that, first of all, no one's too old to compete and be better and be their best. And I also learned the value of coaching and mentoring because anything you do in life, you're going to do better if you get help from someone who's already walked that path.
Yeah.
Or who knows it better than you. Yeah. So that actually led me to wanting to help others because I would see coaches kind of ignore women. Oh, she's never going to win. Just blowing her off. She's never going to win. I'm not going to deal with her. Not even responding to these girls wanting coaching. And I'm like, that's terrible. So I just said, hey, I'll help those girls that you feel like have no hope. And I started coaching in 2010. And I've coached, dozens to I'm going to say about over 150 winners from our state, other states. I coached the current Mrs. America. She's from Georgia.
Amazing.
And I helped her to pick her gown that won. I'm very honest. So I told her the truth about her interview, which was mediocre, and improved that for her and taught her about storytelling. Yeah. So what I learned in our job was about connecting and storytelling. And that's what I teach other women is to find their story. Where was their struggle? Because the struggle is really what makes you special. The struggle and overcoming it is what makes you a winner and also helps you to be inspirational to other women. And that's what pageantry is not just about looks. Yes, you need to be excellent in many different areas. You need to have a graceful walk. You don't want to walk like a truck driver. You want to be in as good a shape as you can, but you don't have to be always the skinny mini anymore. You need to just be fit for your body type.
Yeah, healthy.
Yes.
Exactly. Because you can tell the difference, right?
For sure. Right.
And then teaching women to tell their personal story, because what drives women and what helps them to want to do something better for other women is experiences they've gone through. So I love hearing people's personal struggles and helping them to shape their personal story and get it sold. I call it selling yourself in 4 minutes or less.
Yes.
Because the interview room is 4 minutes, usually for a pageant. So you have to be able to sell yourself, your ideas, and what you're going to do with the title in 4 minutes or less.
That's a lot.
We had a lot of cells that were 4 minutes on the network. We've had a lot of 4 minutes to do a lot of work.
But that was about a polyester blend, not about a human. That's right. But you do have an eye for it. I have seen your clients and I've seen you too. You've picked dresses for yourself where I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so perfect.
Yeah.
I've seen your clients from their before and afters make huge changes. But I think what you said is the key to it is you're honest. And a lot of people don't always want to hear honest.
Let's talk about that for this generation.
Yes.
There's something weird about just being in saying things in love, but being clear is somehow the meanest thing you can do.
Yeah. Becky and I have realized, especially as we've gotten older, it's been really hard to be honest with people because they don't want to hear honesty.
Like, we're just blowing sunshine up butts. I suppose that's what we're supposed to do.
Do you ever have issues with that, of being too honest?
I think there are people who can't handle it, but apparently my legacy precedes me. And so I have clients that tell other clients, well, Wendy's the best, but be prepared if you want to hear the truth.
Buckle up.
Yes.
So they already know. And if they don't want to hear the truth, they hire somebody else. and then they lose.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're not going to win because you're the truth teller.
That's it.
You know, I wish people were more honest with me. I think I would have, maybe been better at different things or helped improve things. I think honesty is not a mean thing. Mm-hmm. Honesty is, you can be diplomatic and be honest. And also the other thing you need to do is always choose to tell people what their strengths are. So I tell them what their strengths are, and then I say, here's the areas we need to work on so that you're balancing it, because everyone brings something to the table that's fabulous.
Yes. Totally.
But then everyone has something they need to do a little more weightlifting on this one area of their life, right?
Yes.
So it's fair. It's nothing terrible. I can remember one girl did not like my feedback. I told her she needed a lower heel because she couldn't walk in the high heel. Yeah. And I recommended hair pieces to clip them in, because her hair was really, really fine and thin. My hair's fine and thin too. But she didn't like that advice, but it was really trying to help her to walk better. Right. And also, if you're competing and every other woman's wearing hair pieces and you're not, and your hair's very thin, it's just, it's comparative judging. Mm-hmm. So you're lined up, you're compared to one another in terms of your walk, your platform, your story, what you're going to do, your gowns. So I try to choose things that are non-polarizing. Mm-hmm. That means a gown that doesn't take away from you. I had one girl who had a huge gown. It was like lavender with all these things coming out of it. And then you turn around, it was too tight for her. She was not in shape for it. And I was like, I think we need to change the gown. She did. She changed the gown and something that was like silver and gold sequins, and it covered her. And it was just more flattering for her figure. And she ended up winning.
Wow. Yes.
One easy change.
Yes.
Yeah, it just depends if you're able to take constructive thoughts. Sometimes people bought a gown, they're tied to it, and I can't change that.
Right.
Well, and they're expensive, right? I mean, they're probably...
Well, I've never bought a pageant gown. I've dreamt of it. I will buy one and walk around the house, but I've too many skeletons in this closet to take that stage.
There's no room. No. There's no room for a gown.
You could definitely win Mrs. Minnesota. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, Wendy.
Should we do it, Wendy? Should we get her going?
No.
Totally.
I did get to judge 2 pageants back in the day, and I loved being a judge.
Well,
I thought
she
that
loves
was
Dancing
really
with the Stars.
fun.
She loves the pageantry.
I love the is it Pomp and Circumstance?
Yes.
I love it, and I am so mad that pageants aren't on television anymore. I know sometimes some people have controversial feelings over it, but I always loved it. I thought it was sophisticated, confidence building, and I just love a sequins or a hairpiece or a costume. I'm going to start petitioning to bring them back. And maybe somebody will ask me to judge.
We're just a half a step away from getting her to sign on the dotted line.
You know what? You should reach out to the director for Miss Minnesota. So Miss Minnesota pageant is no longer held in Minnesota because I just think it's very hard to recruit in Minnesota for any pageant.
Oh, really?
And most of the pageants are leaving Minnesota. There's only like 1 or 2 left.
Really?
So, yeah. So if you guys reach out to the director, you would judge Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and another state. I can't remember what. But
so
4
everyone's
states
together.
So
okay.
Becky and I are going to judge.
Wouldn't that be
That's
fun?
it. I'm going to reach out. You know the one I judged? Do you know Haley O'Brien? And now she's really big on TikTok and works with Mark Bauer all the time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, I did.
She ran in a local pageant or a Minnesota pageant, and
She did Miss Collegiate. She won Miss Collegiate.
That's it.
She also did Miss Teen USA for Minnesota.
Okay.
And then she was Miss Minnesota USA. I've known her since she was a teenager, and she would work out at my gym. yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Well, and now if you guys look her up, it's Haley Bailey on social media. I mean, millions and millions and millions of followers.
Wow.
And to make our, everything's 1 degree from our old network, she exclusively works with Mark Bauer for her gowns and couture to wear on red carpets. I mean, to the Oscars, to the CMAs.
So he makes them for her.
He makes everything for her.
Wow.
They're like the two of them are a pair. So it's really weird how tied together that is. But I am going to use that when I apply to be a judge. I'm going to say, listen, back when she auditioned for Miss Collegiate Minnesota, I chose her as the winner.
That's
so
right.
I had eyes
That's
on
awesome.
that before the rest of the world.
Yay.
That's my
I
one and
love
only
that.
resume builder for judging a pageant. And I like sequins.
I think you guys would be awesome as judges. I also think you guys would be awesome competing.
Becky could. Personality plus right there.
But that
Both
would
of
be
you
the kick in the butt
could.
for the workout.
One time I asked Becky if she wanted to work out with me and she just responded, no. And then I just no
That's it.
period.
That's-
No.
No, it's a full.
I think
full sentence.
we're better at judging than competing. Are you going to compete anymore, Wendy?
Oh God, no.
You're done?
Well, my last crown that I won was, I'll show you. Yes. It was Mrs. Elite Universe.
Stop it.
That's gorgeous.
Can I wear that one day?
Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a really pretty crown, but you know what? I really don't have like the time and all that right now, because working, like doing a pageant and working out and really making sure that you're eating clean, all that is work.
That's a full-time
Like
job.
some women are just naturally skinny and in great shape. That is not me. I have to work at it. So I'm just into meatballs and spaghetti right now.
But who is
And
it?
I'm really loving bread and
Yes. You deserve it.
dessert.
Well,
I'm
Wendy,
ready for some
everybody's-
apple crumble.
Everybody's on the shot, though. That's what I'm realizing, right? I mean, that seems to be everywhere, every which way you look. People are dropping.
Every which way but loose. Well, you know what? I think it's great if I really think if someone's struggling and it affects their self-confidence, I see nothing wrong with doing something that you need to do to like curb your appetite. I get that.
Yeah.
And for some people, maybe that's the best thing for their health too, to lose some weight. So I'm not a hater on that.
All those numbers are dropping. I mean,
Now, I heard a rumor that shot also, like, because it's a dopamine blocker, that it stops you from online shopping. And I'm not even making a joke of it. Like, I have heard.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Yes. Now, I did hear it through my husband, so he might be pulling my leg. But he
That
said,
is hilarious.
like, some people quit smoking on it. Some people quit drinking.
Yes,
Some people
yes.
quit eating. And then he said he saw an article where people quit shopping on it. But now that I say that out
Wow.
loud to you guys, he might have been lying to me.
do you know you,
You know
can
what?
put
That
in?
could very well be true. I'm serious. You should know what? You should do a little poll.
Yes.
And like an anonymous poll and see what people say.
Because it is a dopamine blocker, and shopping is one of my biggest dopamine hits.
Yeah.
Especially buying. And I've been on a bender. You know, some people go on benders if they have like addiction issues. I've been on a
Yes.
shopping bender like the past month or so. So maybe I need it just to quit that. But I don't want to quit. I don't want to be a quitter of
Well,
shopping.
if you don't have to quit, I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, I mean, my marriage should trump my shopping problem. So if it gets to that level, I'll look into it for sure. Did Chloe ever get into pageants, Wendy?
Chloe was Little Miss Minnesota, and she won a lot of pageants when she was little. Chloe was teeny tiny. She was like, she was smaller than most kids her age.
Yes.
So she was like a little doll. So when I would, have her go out, and she was a piece of work. So she was just kind of, her personality was spontaneous, and you never knew what she was going to say.
Yeah.
Or do. So she was very fun to watch.
I wonder where she
because
gets that from.
She was definitely a nut. So she won her first pageant at 6, and she would run across the stage. Her hair was everywhere. She was so excited. She was hugging other little girls. Like, she was just a piece of work. Then I'd say at 13, she was over it. And she's like, nah.
Been there,
I'm
done
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But she literally would win everything. I took her down to Texas. And in Texas, I don't know if you know it, but Texas is the capital of pageants. If
We've
there's
heard.
one state that's won the most Miss USA titles, it's Texas.
Okay.
Mrs. America titles, it's Texas. So we went there. I had hired a coach for her because it's hard to coach your own daughter. Just an FYI out there. You need someone who has.
Can only imagine.
Yeah, don't try it. That's my suggestion. But she was competing in natural and glitz. I had never done glitz before. I had no idea. We did not use a flipper. We did do a little bit of a hair piece in the back to make it fuller because her hair's thin like mine.
Wait, what's a flipper?
Teeth.
A flipper is where, remember on that show, the glitz, whatever, those kids or whatever. So
Toddlers and tiaras?
Yeah, like they put the fake teeth thing in. Chloe actually had nice teeth, so we never went that far with it. But it was her first time competing, and all the Texans were there. And I was like, well, let's just see where we fall, right? Well, I don't know if you know, but when you're doing any kind of glitz pageant, they start with all the lower titles. So they're giving crowns, they're moving up. And then Chloe still had not gotten a crown, and we're at the very end. And I'm like, oh my God, did she actually win? So it turns out Chloe won the natural and she won the glitz.
They waited till the end.
And she got the highest title.
Shut up.
Yes. So
Oh my gosh.
it was insane. It was in glitz they have to perform what they call an outfit of choice. So she dressed up as a Barbie, and my husband made a big Barbie box, turned the box around, and she was in it as a scary thriller Barbie.
Cute.
Oh,
And then
my
she did it.
gosh.
So I'll post it for you to see.
Would love
But
it.
she did an amazing job. She was hilarious. She was funny, and she really didn't know what she was doing. So then on stage, they go, okay, girls, let's see your hair. She didn't know to turn, and I didn't know. Well, she looked at all the other little girls. They were turning and showing their hair and smiling and posing. And she just looked and she goes, okay. And she started doing it.
It's amazing. It's in her blood.
Chloe rides with the punches.
Yeah.
She will just go with it.
That's
even
it.
though she doesn't totally know. And that's a lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
Go with it.
It is a good lesson for all of us.
It is.
That's how we started this podcast.
Go with the
we
flow.
Just
dive
went
in.
with it. So, Wendi, where can people follow you and stay in touch with you? Because here's the deal. I know our former network went kaput, but people love staying in contact with everybody.
Yes.
So where should people follow you, stay in contact with you, visit with you?
I'm on Instagram, Wendi Russo, and then also on my Facebook page, it's Wendi Russo TV. And I'm going to be doing a sample sale of my Toscana Italiana stuff because I have bags and bags and bags of jewelry that I am not going to wear all this jewelry, girls. So I thought it would be great. I can give them at it basically is going to be 50 to 75% off of retail pricing. It's all the samples that I had from Toscana Italiana.
Amazing.
And so I'll be posting about that.
Oh, do you know what day and time by any chance?
Let me look. Hold on.
Is it a physical
It's
sale
gonna
or
be
an
nice.
online?
It's going to be on Facebook.
Okay.
And I was thinking about doing it on Instagram. What do you think? Facebook or Instagram?
Well, most of the ladies that listen to this podcast are more active on Facebook.
And I think people are used to Facebook Marketplace in terms of shopping.
But you know, there's a few systems that let you go live on both at the same time. I'll send that to you later.
Yeah, I know that Bamboozer did. I used to do Bamboozer for Charles Boulevard.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But yes, let me know because that would be easier. And then I
How
could just
fun.
And if you don't know the date and time yet, you can
I don't yet.
just text it to us because we'll put it in all the show notes. We'll put it in the show notes for the podcast and all of our promotions so that people can come shop with you. I'm going to be shopping.
That's exciting.
I would love some Toscana pieces.
And I'm still working with my vendor. I sell on Australian TV. So I still get my little taste of doing home shopping and talking about jewelry. So that's fun.
Are you Zooming in there or are you flying
Yeah,
down?
so I do Zooming. Yeah, so my
That's
shows are like
perfect.
December 1st, and it's a 12-hour difference. So it's morning there, but it's evening here. So I'm doing shows at like 10:50 p.m.
Yes.
You know, and it's morning there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's still fun. It's still fun to be able to do that.
Good for you, Wendi. They're lucky to have you.
Yes,
Because you're
absolutely.
an
Thank
icon.
you.
You're best in class, babe.
Thank you.
We feel so lucky that you stopped by. We are so happy that you're here. And thank you for catching up. Will you come back in a few months again?
Yes,
please?
absolutely.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much, Wendi.
Thank you for being here, Wendi. Friends,
good to see you,
we'll put
girls.
everything in the show notes. Say hi to Chloe and Corrado, and we'll be over for shopping and bread sometime soon.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. All right. See you later, girls.
Happy
Bye, Wendi.
holidays.
Thank you.
Bye.
Our partners and friends at Isomers Skincare are still here to help you feel and look your best in the skin that you're in. No matter your age, no matter your skincare want or need, they have got you covered. Isomers has real chemistry. They are science-based skincare created by chemists to bring the best ingredients and the best results to your skin. What you're going to do is go to isomers.ca, use the code HAPPY20, and you're going to get 20% off your purchase. If you spend $100 or more, it's free shipping and handling, so enjoy. That's isomers.ca. If you want to move better, if you want to feel better, if you want to perform better, and who doesn't, you've got to check out Daily Fascia. Daily Fascia is one of our original supporters. It is brought to you by Erin Teets. And what she does is she helps relieve aches and pains with fascia-focused activations. She is a best-selling DailyOM course creator who does personalized sessions that help you feel your absolute best. You can check her out on Instagram, Patreon, or YouTube. And when you do, use the code HAPPY20 to let her know that we sent you and to get a special discount exclusive to our listeners. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you, but if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.